Oh, man.
Oh, 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 man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 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 Hey.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about.
That's the gospel of the grace space.
That was good, man. Praise Jesus.
Oh, man.
Shit.
Lay hands on them, fall out.
Shit,
You know what I'm saying?
right? You know? Damn.
Man.
Woo.
We back.
Boy, man, we are back.
We are back.
Crazy ass week.
And in full effect, man.
Full effect.
Man, crazy week, man.
Man, coronavirus.
Another week. Yeah.
COVID-19.
It's another week when it ain't.
Oh,
it
geez.
ain't just another week.
Man, it's been crazy.
They tripping out here, bro.
Oh, dude, tripping.
They losing
Just
their minds out
everybody straight tripping, dude.
here. They got enough toilet paper to
For like 3 years.
wrap the universe in
Right.
right now. And that's just one household.
Yeah,
We not
from
that's
here
just
to
one
the-
household. They got one household got enough toilet paper to wrap the universe. That's
Right.
just one household.
It's crazy out there,
Shit,
man. Listen. Everybody, be safe. Be cautious.
For sure.
You know. But, I mean, come on, man. It seems getting a little ridiculous, right?
Bro, they out here buying. Look, what I would say is just if you're going to get stock right now, put your stock in water.
Charmin.
Shit, it don't even matter the brand, bro. that store brand that they use in the bathrooms.
What, the Scott
man,
Scott
that
brand
shit that
or
you touch, that shit that you touch, and that shit go,
just disintegrates?
yeah. As soon as you
Right.
fucking
Oh,
touch
yeah.
it, put stock in that.
Yeah, right?
Trust.
Jeez, man. It's
They
freaking
buying
nuts.
everything.
And I don't get the whole toilet
They even
paper thing, dude.
they even buying Arrowhead water, and don't nobody buy Arrowhead water. Well, you know, shit.
But,
We'll fucking do
you
it.
got to get water, right?
It's crazy, man.
Man, it feels a little bit apocalyptic, you know?
Man. I mean,
It's some
and
serious shit, but it's very,
They buying
it's very
everything,
strange,
bro.
man.
And then the thing is, with every news story comes more extremism. You know, so I think the whole thing kind of kicked off with the NBA. The NBA kind of set everything off.
Right.
Because the NBA suspended the season. They were the first league to suspend a season. Like, everybody was talking about playing without fans. And then literally there was a game about to happen. They tested Rudy Gobert, and Rudy Gobert had it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they about to play the game.
Right.
Nah, we got to shut this shit down. And but suspended the season, and possibly going to be canceled. And then it was this trickle-down effect, March Madness, NCAA.
Right.
You know, one of the craziest sporting times of the year.
For sure.
Got canceled.
Right.
And then spring sports across the NCAA got canceled.
Baseball.
Done. Baseball, softball. Spring sports got canceled.
Right.
Then NHL suspended.
Right.
MLB, they out here.
Check this out.
Go ahead.
What was our very first podcast on? What if sports didn't exist?
What if sports didn't exist? That's
Sports
crazy.
don't
Sports
exist.
don't exist.
Sports seriously does not exist right now.
That's crazy.
By the way, go check out.
Yes. Yes.
What if
yes.
sports is our very first podcast? It's an audio only, but
Yeah,
go
it's
check
on
it out,
Apple,
man.
Spotify.
Right.
The link will be there.
But isn't that crazy, dude? I thought about
That's
that
crazy,
earlier, dude. I
bro.
was
I
like,
didn't even think about that.
straight up sports don't
That's
exist right now.
crazy.
What's on
That's-
ESPN right now, anyways? Have you
Bro,
turned it
you
on?
know what's funny is I haven't really watched
30,
it.
30 for 30s or what? They
I
rerunning?
haven't really watched it. And part of it's because I've been busy, but basically they're talking about
So they become a news source in the sense
they
of
become
like,
a news source
of the
They
coronavirus.
they
yeah.
become a news source.
Right.
and just basically reporting day to day on. Because, I mean, there's really nothing to report about.
Right. There's no sports right now, man.
Dog.
Well, like I said,
I
in that
jacket off for
podcast,
this
man.
one.
Yeah, man. You know, I'm good. I got my music. I got my TV shows. You know, yeah. I'm good, man. I'm good for a while. So, yeah. But yeah, man, everybody should go check that one out because I actually thinking about re-listening to that one. You know, because I'm like, man, we called it. Back in November. Nah, it was just a what if question, but
we did and we didn't, bro.
Right.
Like when we was talking about it, it was all hypothetical. Now it's like, you know, and look,
and that's the thing that I got the most from most dudes. I have to say, most guys. Man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. There's no sports on. There's no basketball. I was getting ready to watch the NCAA
March Madness.
And I'm like, cool. I don't know what to tell you, man. Watch some movies or something.
Man.
You know, what do you know? Everybody find their own entertainment. But
you know what I think the cool thing about what's going on, and take the sports out of it, is humanity. You know what I'm saying? And you're seeing a lot of people, you're seeing a lot of companies offer, 2 months, 3 months free. Or without penalty or whatever. You're seeing players, you're seeing people donate money to causes, or to some type of fund that, helps out, people lesser than them who are going to be without jobs. I mean, one of the first things that I thought about when they talked about, when they said they were going to suspend the season was like, yo, what about the people that work, at the entryway and
the concessions and
right. You know what I mean? At the ticket stand and like, right. What do they get? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these people, they travel. Like people don't realize that
the bus drivers and stuff like that. Truck drivers and stuff.
Even like when you go to a game, like it's not like they get hired. Like some of these people work for a company,
right?
That moves around. And they go to different games and events in either in a regional area or in countrywide. And so matter of fact, I mean, I was at a spring training game, and I was talking to one of the dudes and at the concessions, and they work for a company. And he lives in San Diego, that's based in San Diego, and they come out here and they do the spring training games and they do other events. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So this is not like, oh, this is extra money for them. This is their jobs.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is their livelihood. So I wondered about that. And so it's awesome to see, like, Kevin Love came out and donated $100,000. Mark Cuban, the owner of Dallas Mavericks, said he was going to take care of everybody.
Right. He was going to look make sure they get paid.
The only thing I didn't like, he said maybe they can we'll find some volunteer work, which is fine, whatever. But it's like, if you're going to do it, don't expect nothing back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, volunteer work doing what? Around nobody? I mean,
he's saying in the future. He's saying maybe in the future we can look to see if we can.
Yeah.
And so if it's something for a positive cause, awesome. But I mean, don't be expecting something back. Like, come on, my guy.
Right.
You got enough in it. You got enough in the account.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that's awesome to see. People helping each other, man, and helping people that don't have as much as they do. So that's real cool.
And the other thing too, and I was telling you earlier, man, that I really liked was in Italy, where they're all out on the balconies and they're singing and dancing and just, they're all stuck inside, and it just really shows the good side of the human spirit.
Yeah.
It's just dope to see, man. It's awesome to see. The videos kind of give me chills and you put a smile on my face, in this weird time that we're in right now.
Yeah, it's a very very weird time.
Yeah, very strange. So, yeah, man, you ready to dive in? this kind of goes in with actually.
Yeah, let's dive in.
Let's dive in, man. This actually kind of goes in with everything that's actually going on right now. Has to do with my shirt. Has to do with fear, dude. I want to talk about fear.
Okay.
Is there anything that? Well, let me put it to you this way: is fear rational or irrational? Is there any kind of fear that is a rational kind of fear that you can think of off the top of your head? Because I have an opinion about it, but I'd like to hear it from you if you think if you think there's a rational fear or if it's all irrational.
I think it's all irrational.
Right.
I think that fear is a thing that it's the mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fear is a thing that is in the mind. I mean, fear of death, right?
Right.
Fear of heights. It's all mental.
Right.
It's all something that you create. And I think sometimes maybe it comes from a place of past history, experience,
Mm-hmm.
and you create fear to defend yourself. Right?
Okay.
I think fear is created out of a sense of defense.
Okay.
Now there's caution.
Right. Now caution's different, right? Caution is a better way of putting fear, redirecting fear. So, yeah, if you have a fear of heights, you don't stand this close to the edge and then look over. But maybe if you're here, I don't know.
Right.
What's your imagination that your foot's going to slip and you're going to fall?
Right.
Or, I mean, I don't have the fear of
Or
heights.
even just being on like a high dive diving board. That's you know what I mean? If it's fear of heights, you're up there.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Still a fear of heights.
So, I mean, what actually brought this, I've been kind of holding on to this topic for a little bit, and I'm glad I did because I think the time is now to talk about it with everything going on. I mean, people's fears are sky high right now, or they're skyrocketing,
Right.
So I saw this video Will Smith posted up on Instagram.
Who's the king of no fear?
Right. But he put up a video in which I'm sure people have seen, but it's just a little kid and he's hanging on a rope on a boat. It's connected to a boat. And all you see at first is the kid and he's screaming as his body is like hanging in the he doesn't want to, he thinks he's going to drown in the water, and he's just blood-curdling screams coming from this kid, right? And then all of a sudden you see the adult walk over and it's this much water.
I've seen
it's
that.
like about a foot of water maybe.
Uh-huh.
Well, the kid's about 3 feet tall, so they try to push his feet down into the water, and then he's still screaming and they force his feet down. And then he finally touches the bottom of the ground, basically, of the ocean or wherever, the lake that they're in. And he stops crying. Oh, it's not that deep.
It's not that deep.
It's just not that deep. So, and then I went, and then in his caption was like, it's all a part of your imagination.
It is.
And it made me think about that. And I was like, man, there's so many, like, okay, I'll give you my fear. Right?
Okay.
And it's totally irrational, but I'm cautious of. And I'm not sure if I ever told you my fear, man. One of my biggest fears is the ocean. The ocean scares the living shit out of me.
Okay.
And
that's a solid fear.
Right. And so it's the biggest desert on this planet. It's a water desert.
Right.
Right? So you're out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. There's a point in the Pacific Ocean that you're far enough out, you're actually closer to the International Space Station than you are to any piece of land. That's how how far away.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
there's one specific spot,
That's
they're
crazy.
like, that's how far in any direction that
That's crazy.
you're actually closer to the International Space Station, which is in space, than you are to any piece of land.
Right.
Think about that, dude. That's
crazy.
freaking nuts. But that's like one of my biggest fears. Is it irrational? Yes, I think it is very irrational. But I'm cautious of it because there's it's the unknown, right? Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Well, because you keep using the word rational and irrational.
Right.
So why are you using those two words?
Because I think because I really think, and that's why I asked you the question to begin with, is I think fear is all irrational.
Okay.
But I think, say you have a fear of snakes, right?
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, past or whatever. But why do you have that fear? It's an irrational fear. It should be more of a cautious thing than it being something where you freeze and
Okay.
That's
what I was
you're
trying to
die.
get to. That's what I was trying to get to, because caution can be a part of fear, right?
Okay.
But you can also be fearless and have caution.
Right. No, that's a good point.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to get to.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm throwing that in there, and then we'll keep rolling, and we'll
No.
ride with that.
Yeah. So so my fear is it's the unknown. It's my imagination really working.
So you're saying.
So what scares me is I've been on a boat like out in the middle of the ocean before. Okay. I didn't freak out. I didn't panic. I didn't cry.
Okay.
My imagination was really going crazy.
Okay.
But that's where I go where it's irrational. It's like in the sense of I'm on a boat.
It hasn't happened.
Right. There's nothing.
You're worried about something that
nothing has happened to me in the middle of the ocean. Nothing has ever happened to me in the middle of the ocean.
Okay.
I never got sucked out I've been on the beach, been in the ocean, in the waves, Now, I won't go way out there. I get about to my knees to my waist maybe, and that's about it. I did almost drown twice, though. Maybe that's where it comes from.
Damn.
So.
And you white. That's not supposed to happen.
Oh, man. You want me to tell you the story real quick?
Yeah.
I'll tell you the one that really, really matters. It was like 8th grade. We had like moving on up to high school after 8th grade. And then, so we went to this park and it had like a lake, a man-made lake in it. Mm-hmm. It was big, and it has water slides, and then it had like the bumper boats on one side of the lake, and roped off, and then you could swim in like the one half, and then so what happened was my friend goes, "Hey, let's go swim to the other side."
Okay,
I'm like, "Cool, let's go." So we start swimming, and we get about halfway, and I'm out there. I think I'm doing it. I'm not going anywhere. I'm stuck. And so I'm like screaming. I'm drowning, I can't move. I don't know what to do, but I'm screaming,
Okay.
And so my friend comes back for me. He swims back to me. And I start pulling him down as he's trying to pull me.
Oh, yep.
And there were lifeguards on the beach, and they kind of laughed it off at first. And as I was drowning him, and I was drowning myself, then he realized so we were going down, and then he grabbed basically both of us and pulled us out, and then swam us back to shore. So, maybe that's where my fear comes from, but that wasn't in the ocean.
Were you like legit drowning, or
yeah,
did you
so
like?
I couldn't move. I couldn't.
So you just didn't know how to swim,
No, I swam out to the middle.
and then what happened?
Like I couldn't. I don't know what happened, man. Like my memory on it is I just couldn't move. Like I was standing still or sitting, swimming. Those infinity
But
pools.
was like your head above water when you were doing this?
My head was above water.
So you were like this, and you're like, oh, and then you look, and you're like, I'm not going anywhere.
Right, like because my friend started taking off.
Okay.
And he got about 20 yards ahead of me. And as he got 20 yards, I noticed as he was moving, I was not moving. So we were swimming together.
Okay.
And then we got to a certain point, and I stalled for whatever reason.
Okay.
Maybe I wasn't I don't know. Maybe I wasn't kicking my feet. I mean, I have no idea.
That's funny though.
It was really
because I'm wondering like if you just like realized you weren't going anywhere, and then you just panicked, and it was like, oh shit.
I probably did, yeah.
And that's who knows? Who knows?
I mean,
That's crazy.
that was a while ago, 20.
Yeah.
20
That's
plus
crazy,
years
though.
ago. So, but yeah, man, maybe that's where my fear comes from. Though.
Oh, for sure.
But I don't really, when I think about the ocean, I don't really think about drowning though. I don't think that my fear comes from drowning. It comes from more of the unknown and how deep it is.
Oh, you
and
think
what's
something gonna
down.
come up, snatch you up. And shit?
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking
Some
about.
Jaws
The,
shit?
like the weird imagination stuff comes into play.
Like your legs just sitting there dangling,
Well,
and
have you-
something. Ow!
Well, you've been on the beach before, and then has a seaweed ever touched your leg, and you go, "Oh my god, what the hell?" And you think something come up and got you, dude.
Yeah.
Right, scares the shit out of you. It's stupid.
Well, then
It's,
you get used to it.
sure, it's just stupid, but
It is. Yeah, that's funny,
I mean, your reaction is it's dumb.
oh
but,
shit! What is this? What is this? I can't see it.
But I mean, just recently though, you had a fear of bees, but that was a rational fear because
it was a very irrational fear.
But you just got stung
Yeah, and I got
in the mouth.
I got stuck. Look, like, and pause, but like. Yeah, like if you're gonna get stung, like get stung on the. I just didn't know, man. You know what I'm saying. And yeah, I got stung. I got stung in the mouth, man.
Mm-hmm.
That shit.
Yeah, but you were fine. Nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing happened.
So I mean, it
Shit
was
hurt for a couple days.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it did. I mean, being stung is not a fun thing, but all your fear of that was basically didn't matter.
Yeah.
It was irrational.
Yeah.
It didn't. Nothing that
Very
you thought
true.
would happen happened.
Very
Not
true.
one thing.
Very true.
So, and that's when, and we can even relate it to what's going on today. Like, I mean, it's good to be cautious about what's going on today with the coronavirus, but what fear are you having that is causing you to have irrational fear instead of having caution?
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes too when fear comes from two things. So from your past, and you develop a defense, to protect yourself,
Right.
and then it comes from something you don't know. So
I think it's more of the unknown, maybe,
I think it's 50-50
Yeah.
for sure.
Maybe it's a little bit more than that, though. Because I think the unknown, man, as human beings, right, our imaginations really run wild. We have very active imaginations about a lot of different things. And I think that really plays a part in, in our fear.
Yeah.
But also in a lot of different emotions as well. But, like, especially what we're talking about with our fear, man, like that, it's just our imagination takes us down a path that's, it's not a real thing.
Yeah. Stress, fear, all of that, all of the things that we worry about in life are all maybes and what ifs and most of them, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like we worry about so much stuff in life that either hasn't happened or most of it just hasn't happened.
Right.
And is it possible? Yeah. A lot of shit is possible.
Right.
But it doesn't mean it's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like we worry the what ifs, the maybe so's, we worry about that. We drive ourselves crazy worrying about the what ifs.
Right. Oh,
for no reason at all.
Right.
Like sometimes we don't even have a reason as big as coronavirus to even be worried about shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We just be worried about stuff, you know, going to what if it's a spider in there? What if it's this in there?
Right.
You know what I mean? Walking through, a place you've never been before is, there's grass and what if there's snakes in there? What if there's this in there?
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Like we worry about the what ifs, and it's like, and what if it is? Or what if it isn't?
Right.
What if there's nothing? Then what? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, we drive ourselves crazy with this shit, bro.
Right.
You know?
I have a friend who's won't mention who he is, but his I'm going to tell you his fear because I think it's an interesting one. His fear is talking to girls that he thinks that are pretty.
Oh, that's a huge fear. What do you mean?
Like, and I'm like, but see, to me, that I don't get necessarily that I don't understand that fear. Like,
oh, that's
I mean, for me personally, not that I'm not a player or anything, I'm not, but like, so like, I don't know.
No, you about that shit, bro. Hey, don't let this motherfucker fool you, bro.
Oh man, whatever, dude.
Hey, he got game. Zeke got game. It pull up. Zeke pull up. Hey, what's good with you? You know what I'm saying?
But like he would be with me, and then there was this girl, and she would talk to me, and he would just stand there, and he would kind of
freeze up.
It almost like he went into a corner,
man,
like in an invisible corner, like just
it'd
straight
be
up.
like that.
Just went back, and I'm talking, whatever, just bullshitting. Mm-hmm. And afterwards, this was when the first time I found out about it, and I was like, "Man, he goes, she was too pretty, I couldn't talk to her." And I was like, "Really? Like, why? They're just talking. It's not like, I mean, I guess I could get the fear of asking her out or something, but not the fact of just chit chatting."
Well, that's a self-conscious thing,
right?
So that stems from a totally different place of being self-conscious and not being self-confident, and I don't want to say the wrong things. I don't want to look like a goof. Even like if nothing happened, like people that are like that are just worried about being the nerd or being, whatever, like being looked at like, man, I don't like you.
Yeah, there
and
you
so
go.
it's an acceptance thing that again probably stems from you know
right.
what I mean?
I didn't even think about that. Where like, oh, I'm the nerd. She's not gonna. I can't talk to her. Something weird's gonna come out of my mouth.
And then what's crazy is
because I like video games or whatever, something like that.
What's crazy is the confident nerds that got bullied, but they just stay confident. They still ended up with that broad dog. Like, what do you mean?
Right,
still got the baddest one. You know what I mean? He be looking like, okay, he got millions.
Right? Hey, man.
Yeah,
most of those nerds do, dude.
I invented.
You know what I'm saying?
The computer. What?
Mm-hmm. So, do you have like fears about your daughters? That
fears?
Are yeah. Do you have fears about your daughters? Like they're gonna do something or become something that you don't want them to? Or, do you have like?
No.
Does your imagination go with that or anything like that?
No.
I mean, I know you're a cautious dad and everything, but I mean, I
worry.
Sure.
Do I have fears?
Right. Yeah, I'm just curious if you had fears.
No. I think.
Do you have any fears? Or something that you have had a fear of and overcame it?
I have a slight fear of death.
Okay.
I go back and forth.
Right.
I have a fear of dying too early, bro.
Mm. Yeah, you're right. We have talked about this.
I think I told you.
Yeah.
Of not fulfilling my purpose.
Right.
I think that's my fear.
Wow, that's actually really
I think if you
that's really
if you
interesting.
nail it down, like
I just had that thought today.
Do I have a caution of heights? Do I have a caution of certain situations? Yes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I have a fear of not fulfilling my purpose.
Right.
Like that's when, and I mean, something that I think about a lot.
Right.
A lot.
I swear, man, I had this thought today as I was thinking about us doing this podcast, and I was like, and I thought about fear, right? And I thought, I'm bring up the ocean thing and stuff like that. And then because that's still kind of a real thing. It kind of freaks me out a little bit. But
right.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and I was like, I thought about death, and I was like, I don't want to die. Like I'm not ready to die. And I had that thought, and I was like, there's no way, because I have not fulfilled what I need to do.
Right.
There's still like a void there. Like, and you're right. Now that I think about it, like, I don't think I'm fearful of it, but I'm maybe a little afraid that I won't reach it.
Yeah.
You won't reach that goal, whatever that goal is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a real thing.
I have that's the only thing I worry about, man. And,
man.
Sometimes because of that, I'll be driving on the road and I'll be behind a truck that got, bricks on it or something, or those big trucks, and they got the fucking, big pipes hanging out of them.
Oh yeah. And you think, that's gonna come right through.
What's that damn movie?
Final
Destination and shit, bro. I'm like, bro, like,
right, dude. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or those trucks that carry the rocks, and some of them don't have coverings over the top.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's literally been an issue. Like, it's happened. It's not even like movie shit. Like, it's happened. So like, that's the shit. Like, I'm always worried about, like, and then just like dying of like something crazy, just something random, a car accident or getting hit at the wrong time. Like, it's not something that I dwell on. It's not something that I go crazy about. But like, I'll see something if I'm somewhere and I see something. And a lot of times it's when I'm driving,
right?
And I'll see something and I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go over here to this lane, like way far away from that,
right?
Just because, like, I don't want to get like bludgeoned to the face, bro, while I'm on the way home. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying.
Right.
So, but I mean, I think as far as fear goes, that's pretty much it for me, man. I mean,
well, it sounds like you got it figured out.
No, I don't. No.
I don't mean that in a bad. I really don't mean that in a negative way.
But there's a lot of things. I guess I'm afraid of heights, man. Like, I wouldn't go skydiving or no shit like that.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know if I would or not. I don't even really think about that. You know what I'm saying? It's not something I'm like. I don't know though. I don't have that. You know how people have that.
I got a fear of raw sushi.
Why? What?
Because it's raw. I'm just putting that. I don't know why.
Oh shit!
They say, we cleaned it.
Yeah, but you cleaned it. This shit ain't cooked.
Cleaned it. You didn't cook it. Right. Coronavirus.
No, but I mean, it's serious though. Like, it kind of sounds like you've kind of mastered that in a sense. Maybe not mastered, but maybe you've put your thoughts or your fears into check, about things.
So
Yeah, I'm cautious. I ain't going skydiving. I don't want to. I'm good. I don't need to do that. I don't need to push my limits to that. Like thrill seekers, the word I was looking for. You know what I'm saying? There's people that are thrill seekers, and they don't care. They do those wingsuit things, and they fly real close to the ground. They go through.
Or what
the
about them
canyons
like extreme parkour motherfuckers, man? That be
dude.
fucking hanging off.
Like
taking selfies like this, hanging off a fucking
100-story building. Yeah,
you done lost your mind.
Yeah, that shit's crazy, dude.
Sometimes I just want to be in a video and be like this. Just tap on the hand. Oh, you playing with death, huh?
Here, man.
You playing with death. Get your ass out of here.
Right.
No, I'm playing. Don't take that seriously. It's a joke.
Oh shit, man. How do you think you get over fear though? Is it all just mental, talking yourself out of something? Like, hey, don't worry about it. Don't trip.
I think it's the old adage, face your fears.
Meaning?
You have to do something or
so you're afraid of heights, you get to the edge and just.
Well, I mean, it's baby steps, dog. Like, you know what I mean?
I know, but I'm just saying.
If you're afraid of heights, you don't go to the Grand Canyon and stand over and look over like, oh, now I feel better. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's baby steps, right?
Right.
But maybe you go to the high dive at the. I don't even know if they have these anymore at the recreational pool.
Right. I'm sure they.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure they do. Yeah.
And you go to the little mid joint, right? And then you go to the high one.
You just kind of keep working yourself up.
Man, there's a
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. This shit got me crying. There's a video of this little kid, and he's obviously afraid of water. He's afraid of the pool.
Oh, okay.
And he's trying to. The parents are cold because they like, man, go, and he's at the edge, and he's shaking, and his whole body is in convulsion, bro. The fact that he didn't pass out, I don't know what happened. I never saw the.
Well, they never really show the ends of those videos.
They never show the.
They always show like the funny part of it.
But my man's was out there. He was out there. He caught the Holy Ghost on that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's a real thing, man.
Yeah.
That's a real thing. But yeah, I mean, you attack it, man. If you're afraid of spiders, you know what I'm saying? You
catch one.
I don't know.
Put one in your hand.
You know what? I don't know, man. There's just things you can do. I wouldn't say hold one in your hand. I mean, that's kind of extreme, but
I was just wondering if you were catch what I heard. That's all. What you heard.
I'm always catching what you heard.
That's right.
Every Monday.
That's right.
Feel me?
Right. But yeah, man. So, I just
you have to. I think the one thing you have to do is you have to mentally prepare yourself. To overcome a fear. That's the first thing you have to do.
Right.
You have to acknowledge that that fear exists.
Mm-hmm.
You have to acknowledge that it is something that is holding you back and mentally.
Right.
Because any fear that we have is something that is holding us back from getting us to our greater selves.
All right. Oh, hold on. Okay. I'm with you. But this ties in really well. And I want to bring this up. I hope you don't mind. Meditation. And you just started doing meditation.
I mean, big rookie.
I mean, this really, you were just talking and I was like, well, meditation, man. I
normally have my thing.
Right, but I mean, what do you think about that? What do you think about meditation helping out with fears?
To me,
yeah,
it's huge.
Right.
Now, I'm not at that level yet.
No, I know you just started, but I'm just saying.
Meditation.
But you're dabbling into meditation. So
there's a point where you can get to.
Right. But like you said, mental steps where you can take.
You can literally get to the point where
Right.
you can meditate and dissect. And look, I'm not the expert.
No, but
I've only talked to somebody who knows what they're talking about.
But you've also
shout out to cousin Jim.
Yeah, man, but you've also experienced a meditation
I did
as well.
yes.
You know, so like I said, you've dabbled into it more than I have. Now, I've read up on meditation before, and I've never done meditation, so that's why I kind of redirected it kind of to you because of what you can put yourself through meditation of overcoming fear.
Yes.
And it's another baby step towards, it's like taking that, you're talking about the high dive, right? Well, I ain't going to the top yet, but I'll start on this just the one that's 10 feet off above the water. And then I'll go to the mid one that's 30 feet above water. And then I'll go to the one that's 60 feet above water.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's why I wanted to talk about meditation for a second, because I think
meditation is a great tool.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not the expert. I'm a big rookie. But through my experience, I've done 2 meditations. One I was led through. Mm-hmm. The other one I did myself.
Right.
I was supposed to do one today. I'm going to try to do one today. If not, I'm going to get a good one in tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, freeing the mind. The mind is crazy, man. The mind.
It's letting go.
It's letting go, and the mind, again, like I said,
it's your imagination.
You gotta get through these barriers in order to become your greater self. And if you're mentally holding yourself back because you're afraid of something, because you're afraid of failure, because you're afraid of going to restaurants, because there's so many phobias out there that we don't even know. Like there's a phobia of like holes or dents in skin.
Interesting.
It's an actual phobia. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a like there's a phobia for everything.
Right.
Fear of tables. There's some type of table phobia. Right. Fear of food, fear of water, fear of this, fear of pictures, fear. Right. There's so many
fear
things.
Of clowns. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to it. Yeah, man. I mean, there's so many phobias, man, and when we give into those fears, we hold ourselves back.
Right.
Be cautious. Don't be fearful. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that as a man with fears. Like, I have fears. I have a fear, my biggest fear. And but it's something that, again, you have to acknowledge it. One of the things that my cousin Jim said, he said, let it come, let it be, let it go. So let it come.
Yeah.
Be fearful. Let it be acknowledged that it's there, and then let it go.
Right.
And when you get to the point where you can at least let it come and let it be, you will get to the point where you have to let it go.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
Right.
Because half of the time it's just acknowledging that the shit is there.
Mm-hmm.
And then let it go.
Right. So if you don't mind, man, we'll make a promise, if you don't mind, to talk about your meditation journey, like at a later time. Because I would like to really...
We can.
I would like to really dive into...
Matter of fact, you know what?
It.
I'll start something new. We'll stay updated here on the actual podcast.
Right.
But maybe I'll start something new coming up this week, and I'll talk about my meditation journey on the gray space.
I think it'd be fascinating to talk about, because I think it would be, just not, it's going to be beneficial for you going through the journey, but also beneficial for other people who have fears or issues with the mind and how it can help and relate to other people, you know?
Yeah. And again, I know nothing about this.
Right. And you know,
I'm not going to come from a place of expertise. I have none.
Right. But to see your journey would be really interesting to see and to kind of follow it through and maybe touch on it on the podcast here and there or dive deep in a couple months, you know, when you're really deep into it, you know, whenever you're ready to talk about it. Because I would like to really dive into that.
We'll see. Maybe I'll start up a little video chronicle this week, man. We'll see. Let us know.
Right. Yeah.
Listeners,
let us know.
Viewers, let us know. You know, is that something that you would like to see? You know, I'll drop a video a week and kind of explain my meditation and my readings and the information that I gather from those around me who know a lot more than I do. And we'll go from there. Let us know. Drop a comment. Let us know.
For sure, man. Cool. All right, let's get into our album review for today. Or this week. It is Jadakiss.
Kiss.
Go ahead, man.
Jadakiss.
Start us off, man.
Jadakiss, Ignatius. This album was a dedication to Jadakiss's longtime friend and A&R, Ignatius, better known by Ice Pick J.
Cool.
Who was a jeweler in New York, who ended up becoming an A&R and very close friend of Jada, The Lox, Styles P, Sheek Louch. You know, one of the greatest groups in hip hop. You know, they're up there when you talk about The Lox. You know, Sheek Louch, Styles P, Jadakiss, and then Jada obviously is the crazy lyricist that he is. And so this was actually the first album that Jada dropped since, I think, Top 5, Dead or Alive, and I think that was a few years ago, right?
Yeah, when I looked at, want to say 2017?
Yeah, that was a couple years ago.
Or 2016. I can't remember, but yeah, it was at least 3 to 4 years ago. Somewhere.
So I'll dive in, man.
Yeah, what'd you think of the album?
I love the album. I love the album. I think Jada did what Jada does. Mm-hmm. Jada delivered, but Jada did something different on this album. And this is where I actually like the album a little bit more, because Jada's a spitter. He's known for, you know, just the bar for bar type of setup, punches going in. But he played around, and I watched an interview with him on The Breakfast Club, and he talked about how Ignatius, Ice Pick J, always wanted him to like sing and do some harmonies and do some stuff with his voice and play around, and he had, you know, certain artists that he wanted Jada to work with. And so when he did this album, he really went and got the people that, you know, Ice Pick wanted him to work with.
Right.
2 Chainz, a couple of other cats. And he worked with him, and then he did some singing over the album, which was crazy. So yeah, I mean, I like the album. What you think?
I like the album, but I find it kind of vanilla. Now,
really?
Yes. So I think it's good. Okay.
Okay.
But I almost feel like it's songs I've heard before. Does that make sense?
Really?
Yeah, like oh man, was Me? sounds like a song I've heard before.
Well, that's classic Jada shit, though.
Oh, I know, dude. Look it.
Okay.
Look.
All right,
Listen.
I'm zipping it. You
No.
talk.
No. I mean,
It's your turn.
listen. I say that, but what's the base of everything? Vanilla's fine. There's nothing wrong with. To me, there's nothing wrong with that per se. It's not negative, right?
Okay.
But it just felt a little plain to me. I don't know. Nothing stood out to me on this album. Like really spoke to me. So, but I liked it. It was pretty good. You know what it is though? I'm gonna be honest with everybody, right?
Mm.
There are certain times where I really did not want to do hip hop this week. I just straight up did not want to. I just didn't want to dive into hip hop this week.
Right.
So I found it really hard to get through the album, and it had nothing really to do with the album necessarily. So I'm coming off of it as it does and it doesn't. Did you know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
That's why I say it's stuff that's I feel like I've
But
heard
also the problem was that nothing
was standing out to me.
Nothing was standing out, and this is not no disrespect to the great Janae, but the album wasn't for me. It was a good album. I'm not talking about Jada.
Oh,
there was another album that came out that was a very popular album, very popular. Matter of fact, got hit up multiple times about it.
I haven't even listened to that album yet.
I have.
Have you?
I have a few times.
And
I
know we're not reviewing it, but I'm just curious.
It's good.
Okay. Because you said something to me over the phone, and I want to bring this up real quick.
It's just not for me.
Exactly what you said, because you were like,
I can't relate to anything that
you're like, because you called me yesterday and you said, please let's review. Well, we're gonna hold it for next week, but you're like, please let's review this album because it's speaking to me.
Yes.
And I was like, you were like, it's the first. I'll give you a hint. It's R&B, and you're like, this is the first R&B album that's really speaking to me this year.
I've been searching, bro.
Right. I know you have. You search with me. We search. We're constantly searching. So
that album didn't speak to me. So this one did, and I actually wanted to hold off on this one because I wanted to do something alternative or R&B before we did Jada.
Mm-hmm.
But we're here now,
right?
And so, but I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from as far as not really being into the crazy hip hop spirit right now.
Listen, yeah, I love hip hop, dude. Like, it's in my top 3 genres of music, right? Like,
yeah.
But for whatever reason, man,
I get it.
But what's interesting is I kind of flipped the switch last night, and so when I listened to the album, I listened to it again. I'm away over here, and I was like, oh, okay. Like,
there's some things on there.
Man, this is a good album. I'm not when I say vanilla, I'm not talking shit about this album. I actually like the album.
So I'm gonna do a quick dive in.
Dive in, yep.
So Pearly Gates is his shout out to Ice Pick J. Hunting Season. Shout out to my boy Jake, to my boy Jacob.
I like Hunting Season. Yep.
He loves Pusha T. So I'm gonna give him a shout out, Jacob. You know what it is. Hunting Season with Pusha T. That's just a hard.
That's a good.
That's a hard. That's a hard. That's an old school. We killing rappers.
Right.
That's what it is. Take it or leave it. We out.
Right.
Keep It 100 was where I kind of started. Keep It 100.
I like Keep It 100.
I love Keep It 100.
Keep It 100 is probably my favorite song in the album.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Catch and Release lost me. Felt like Catch and Release shouldn't have been on the album.
You know what's funny? I can't remember Catch and Release.
I've tried to listen to it 50 times,
I can't.
bro.
It's not.
And I skip it
yeah.
every single time. I don't know why. It just, the vibe, it wasn't riding with me.
Right.
Me, I love, because that's classic Jada shit.
Yeah, it is classic.
It is classic Jada shit.
But it's like you've heard it before. That's all I mean.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Anime, that's a skit.
Fuck you, anime.
Fuck you, anime. That shit was funny.
That might be my favorite song.
Yeah, right.
It's an interlude.
Right.
Sorry.
Need Your Best. One of my favorites,
actually,
bro.
Need Your Best is good, dude. That's
Need
good.
Your Best is hard.
Yeah,
With
that's
Ty
good.
Dolla $ign,
Yeah, that
shit
is a good song, dude.
hard.
Yes, that is a good
Need
song.
Your Best. That shit goes
I still think I
hard.
like Keep It 100s better. Just a little bit.
I actually think probably
My second is probably Kisses to the Sky.
I'm getting there. So Angels getting pedicured.
Mm-hmm.
I love this song. The instrumentation on this song, bro, is crazy.
Right.
And he used live instruments to create the beat for this song. Crazy.
Again, production on this
Production
album.
was crazy. Yeah, production
Awesome.
is crazy on
Yeah.
the album. Two Chainz is on that one. Angels getting pedicured.
Right.
Kisses to the Sky with Rick Ross. And I don't Imani.
Yeah, I don't know.
Imani. Yeah, but that one's dope. And then I was listening to the song and I'm waiting for Ross.
Oh yeah.
I'm waiting for that. Maybach. You know what I'm saying? My Condolences, another skit. Government Cheese was dope.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
not
the
bad.
hook on that joint. It was
Yep.
fire. I Know with John Legend was dope. And then Closure, obviously, to end out the album was pretty good. So
13 tracks.
13 tracks. I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I really loved.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely able to listen to the whole album all the way through. To me, like I said, except for that one catch and release.
Yeah.
So where we at?
You want me to give the score?
Yeah.
First,
Where you at?
I'm giving it an 8.
I'm right there with you, bro.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. It's an 8.
It's
an
a
8.
solid 8.
It's a solid 8.
It's
yeah.
a really good album.
It's really good, man.
It's a really good album.
It's
what you expect from Jada with a little bit extra.
It just, I really wasn't feeling it at first, and it had nothing to do with Jada. Nothing.
Yeah, you can't disrespect.
It really doesn't.
Jada, bro.
I love the voice, the raspiness, I do. I enjoy that, because it's not something you hear every day, But on the same, it's like I said, it's a little plain, but it's not like bad plain.
No, not at all.
But it's enjoyable. Definitely enjoyable.
Definitely.
And I think I enjoyed it more today than I did this past week listening to it.
You a hip hop fan, music fan?
For sure.
Jadakiss, Ignatius.
Yep.
Let us know what you guys think about our reviews as well. Drop, let us know. Y'all tripping?
Yeah.
Y'all right on the money? Or I thought it was less. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah, tell us you thought it was worse or whatever.
Let us know.
Yeah. Or better.
Or better.
You might
right?
think it's a 10.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what though? Seriously, music is kind of ears the beholder.
It's subjective,
it's like
bro.
it's subjective.
But we love to get the feedback, man.
For sure.
We love to get the feedback. Give us feedback on how we're doing on the podcast episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to stay consistent. We're trying to stay consistent and drop it to you guys every Sunday. If not Monday by the latest. You can definitely catch what you heard from my main man Zeke every fucking Monday.
Every Monday.
Dropping you the newest of music, the hottest of music.
Right.
On the YouTube channel.
I also want to say, hit that subscribe button too down there.
Always hit that subscribe button.
Hit the like button.
Share.
Comments, please.
Say something.
We don't get very many comments. We do outside of the podcast.
Yeah, we get hit up all the time.
All the time, man. Leave something down below.
Yeah,
We'd love to hear
know.
from you guys. I'm serious. Just leave something down below.
And
Positive,
sharing,
whatever.
man. Ain't nothing wrong with sharing, man. If you guys are fucking with the shit, man.
Yeah, please share with your friends,
just at
man.
least show somebody. You ain't got to hit the share button on your fucking phone,
Right.
but show somebody.
Right. Be like, oh, hey, man, I rock with these guys, whatever. That's my plead
Yes.
with everybody.
We love y'all.
Yes.
Stay safe.
Stay positive.
Stay positive. Conquer your fears.
Yes.
And as always, this is the motherfucking Grace Break.